Let me tell you what society will tell you. It increases your chances of getting a job. It provides you with an opportunity to be successful. Your life will be a lot less stressful. Education is the key. Proverbs 17:16. It does a fool no good to spend money on an education, because he has no common sense.
When deciding the different pathways to university, students can experience several different options.
So you did a different course, didn't you? You did BTEC, whereas I did A-levels, so this is nice.
I did GCSEs and then A-levels.
I did A-levels at college.
However, do these different pathways fully prepare students for a career through further education?
I think in my school it was very mark orientated rather than learning orientated, so they taught us how to get the marks and pass rather than actually learning the subject.
I'd say yes, I have noticed obviously an increase in difficulty at university as far as the sort of degree of learning. Not entirely sure yet how it's preparing me for the industry or anything like that, but you know, we've got a couple more years to see how that goes, and yeah, fingers crossed.
Filling my head with equations, dates and facts, which I had memorised down to the letter, half of which I would never remember, and the other half which I forgot after the exam and by the start of next semester.
We spoke to David Dawson, Head of Business at the University of Gloucestershire, to find out his views on higher education.
Did I go to university? Yes, I did, but it was a close-run thing. Nobody had gone to university in my family before I. And I had a job offer, which I will admit I didn't beat the salary on it until 10 years after I'd left university. Was it a good thing for me? Yes, I work in a university now, I loved it. I learnt a lot that I wouldn't necessarily have learnt out in business, and later on in my career it's certainly benefiting me. It's allowing me to get promotions that I wouldn't have got otherwise.
Although, we must ask the question, what is education missing?
CV writing, that sort of thing, things that are practical that you can literally just take from education and then place into a work environment, I think would be more useful.
Basic life skills, like more in-depth cooking classes could be useful, like how to cook on a budget and stuff at school.
With more structured work experience in which you actually use the skills rather than some work experiences which might just be tea making.
I run a business, I did a business degree. I wouldn't be able to do my job anywhere near as well if I'd done a different subject area or hadn't done the degree, full stop.
Now let me tell you the statistics. Steve Jobs' net worth, 7 billion. Richard Branson net worth, 4.2 billion. Oprah Winfrey, 2.7 billion. Mark Zuckerberg, Henry Ford, Steven Spielberg, Bill Gates. Now here comes the coup de grace. Listening to all these facts, what's your conclusion?
I have friends who've got brilliant careers who didn't do a degree, didn't do A-levels. There's quite a lot of evidence to say that entrepreneurs don't necessarily have to have a degree, and we accept that. But most people in business are not entrepreneurs, don't run their own, or don't necessarily run their own businesses, but work for others, whether it's a small business or a larger business. And we have to bear that in mind.
That is the only time I spent at university chasing my dreams. And after nights with a dead mind, I then find myself in a queue of half-awake student zombies waiting to hand in their assignment. Maybe that is why they call it a deadline.
It seems that due to the rise in fees, some young people are looking into other routes to success.
I stopped education last year, come out of sixth form. I did apply for uni, but I didn't end up going. And then I applied for a full-time job. Companies
spend a lot of money. I've just heard of somebody who's going to an institution to do an MBA, a one-year course, £80,000. That's the sort of investment that organisations are willing to make in education and business education, because they know that if these managers are not properly trained properly, the risk is that they could lose not just £80,000, but millions of pounds.
Thousands of students have clashed with police at Westminster today during a mass demonstration against plans to increase university tuition fees.
I didn't like the idea that you could go to uni and come out in debt and still not be promised a job. I think that was what put me off as well.
I'd have to agree on that, in that I know people that have been sort of phased out of education because of these increased costs, and I don't think that's fair on anyone particularly.
If I was a potential student, would I go now? Definitely I would. I turned down a job that had a good salary to go and do a degree because I thought it would be a long-term investment, and it's really proved to be as such. And I think that's the point we have to make to people. Yes, it's a big investment, and you have to take that on, but later on in life it will really give you the payback.
Reassess how you define education. Understand its true meaning. Being educated does not just mean learning facts from a book on someone's opinion of a subject to pass an exam.
I would say that education is invaluable. It's something that sets you up for life, and I'd encourage anybody who has the opportunity to take a degree and take a university education to go forward and do that.
It is evident that the rise in fees has begun to affect young people's views on higher education, with recent figures showing that 2.58 million people are unemployed. Lecturers in and around the UK are urging young people to become as qualified as possible to battle such harrowing statistics.